Homemade no less. I'm impressed, even though it's a day old. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I'm making myself when I can. So, Ren is making me so uncomfortable. Why? She looks like she's just trying to destroy my soul with her eyes. And she's just happy. Why are you two friends? That's kind of weird. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to such sights as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Hisao, the whole theme of this story is you seeing them as normal people because they are normal people. Why do you keep asking the same question? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Yes, that's what you should be doing. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emi tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emi looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How do you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emi answer this question. Somewhere in the housing department that we thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. That guy's messed up. Pairs no legs, someone with no legs, someone with no arms. Like, you two make a good fit. Be friends. Complement each other? Like shoes and a suit. Huh? Emi giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs. Get it? But then you have two heads. Ah. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Yeah, I can see that. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Yeah, kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emi seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking. Yeah, good thinking. Just stop talking. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. Her face moves a lot. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emi finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that, sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me the one that appears to... Sorry about that. In that space of time, I saved. Got a glass of water. Got some candy. I got these Skittles Riddles. I have no idea. I've never heard of that flavor, but apparently, or this theme, but apparently the colors don't match the flavors. So there's a neon green. Why is neon green bubblegum? Well, it's just messed up. Or is that bubblegum? I have no idea. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice. One to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with a pink color scheme. And keeps a equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Why did you give me cranberry juice? I would have been perfectly fine with the other two, just I'm not that big of a fan for cranberry juice. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emi or Ren are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Hisao, how do you like it up here? It's got a nice view. That's about it, cause Rin kinda creeps me out. It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. I like being up high for the view, but if I'm on the edge of that view, I don't like it. I hate that, actually. What is that called? Like acrophobia? Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emi grins a 2,000 watt... Not 2,000, where did you get to... 1,000 watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emi looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? Of course. The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's... Why do you have to do that face? Why? You're gonna make Hisao say yes. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will keep eating lunch all alone. I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emi pouts. Kidding, I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location and the company's okay too. Emi frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I wasn't gonna say great, that'd just be kind of awkward. The company here is great. I love being with you too. I guess that makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return of downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're gonna fade away. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school. So I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Yes, we're gonna see Hanako. Come on. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping. I should know how to pronounce that, but I don't. Enveloping the room. Yuka, are you kidding me? As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slot onto the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry Yuko, I didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. No, you're not. You're not used to it. Can I help you? It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Hey, she's here. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. Wait, don't intrude, just go and sit next to her, casually say, "Hey, Hanako, how are you doing? I'm just gonna don't mind me, I'm just gonna sit here and read." Boom. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books and and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. I had to get some water. Oh, the gate again, the super pompous gate. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. Oh, it's Lily. After passing through and rounding the corner, though,